guys, welcome back. My name is Lynette for those of you new. I'm excited to do another Amish Mennonite style cooking video for you all. And I'm going to try to keep doing these every now and again, maybe once a month or so. So definitely if you're new, hit the subscribe button. I do a lot of home lifestyle related things as well as some cooking. So today's video is a little bit random, I feel like. I don't really have like just one certain subject that I'm doing. And I hope you like that style. Let me know if you prefer to have like just one type of thing or if you like to have just a variety of different things in one video. In any case, I just have been making a couple of things and I decided to bring you all along. I'm gonna have a couple sides or salads and then also a dessert. So I hope you enjoy it. And before I get further into the video, I'm also collaborating with my good friend Adeline Zook. She's also going to be doing a cooking related video today. She's doing freezer meal prep. So make sure you go check out her channel. She's a mom of 3 girls and she lives in North Carolina. She has some Mennonite background as well. And yeah, her and I have just been friends for a couple years already. And I really appreciate her. And I think you will enjoy her channel. She does a lot of similar content to mine. So make sure you go check out her videos, subscribe. And if you're coming over, welcome. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna get into the video and I hope you all enjoy it. I am making a salad. It's going to be a broccoli and cauliflower salad. I will have the recipe in the description box down below, as well as all of the other recipes that I'm making. I will have them mostly written out because I don't really have links to any of them. So definitely go check that out if you're curious. So the broccoli and cauliflower salad is something I really don't make very often, and it's honestly not very hard to make. I don't know why I always think it's difficult, but I suppose if you make a bigger batch it might take a little longer. However, I love me a good broccoli and cauliflower salad, so I'll let you kind of watch how I put it together and go from there. I was using up whatever cheese I had on hand, and I think it was either Colby Jack or Marble. I honestly don't really remember, one of the two. But you could also use cheddar. I think that would be really good. Once I made the dressing for it, I kind of mixed the salad together and then I poured it on right before we ate. But I do think you could put it on, early in the morning if you were going to eat it later in the day. I don't think that would matter, but I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong. I was kind of thinking I don't want to put it on until right before I eat, but I actually think it'd be fine. So I guess use your judgment. Alright, the next thing is a whipped Jello. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's very common among Amish and Mennonites. It's a really easy dessert or Jello salad, if you will. And I'm going to show you guys how I make it. It's super simple. I have some grape gelatin. At least that's what the package says. It still looks kind of blue to me, but I tasted a little and it does taste pretty much like grape. So we'll see how it looks. I guess if it's blue, so be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the fridge and let it set a little bit, like get a little bit like more than syrupy. But I've already mixed it and it's not really, so it does work either way, but it's good if it does like thicken just a little bit and kind of cools down. So for the actual stuff that goes in the Jello, it's going to be 1 stick of cream cheese and a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to mix that or beat it together and then add the whipped topping to it and then add it slowly to the other Jello. After it's mixed, you're gonna go ahead and pour it into a pan and refrigerate it until it is set. So it's very humorous to me that it's blue instead of purple. So I don't know what's going on, but it does supposedly taste like grape, but I'm sure the boys are okay with that.
Jackson isn't, but I'm fine. I love blue.
Okay. You could also put like a layer of Jello on top of it yet, or on the bottom of it if you want to, you know, take extra time. But another kind that's really good is like the strawberry kind. Strawberry or like cherry maybe, raspberry. So there's definitely other colors you could try, or like other flavors you could try. So don't be afraid of that if you don't have grape or the color blue in this case. It kind of matches my shirt. Not quite. Anyway, this is just like a really fun, easy thing to do. And I know I've shared some Jello on my channel before, but this is just another style of it. And it's also really easy. Okay, the next thing I'm making is Amish chicken noodles. I know a lot of you guys know about them, and I've also had requests for them. We used to eat them quite a bit growing up, and I love making them. They're very much a comfort food, and they're super easy. You can make them like hours ahead of time and let them sit. So I will show you what it takes to make these. So for the ingredients, you're gonna be needing noodles. I'm using the Walnut Creek Foods noodles. It's the fine kind, they're really thin. I've actually never made them with this thinness, so I'm thinking I may have to adjust my recipe, but generally I would do like medium or thin maybe. You don't have to use like, you know, just this size. They can be bigger, just experiment a little bit. I'm using cream of chicken, some butter. The butter is going to be browned, and you're probably gonna smile if you know me and you've been watching my videos. You know that I like to add brown butter to quite a few things. You're also gonna be needing some chicken base and a little bit of salt, and then water. So I'm gonna do a little less than half a stick of butter, and I'm gonna brown it in the pan before I add any of the other ingredients. So the brown butter adds just an extra element to the noodles. You could totally do it without, but trust me, I think you will like it. You just let it cook until it's kind of has these brown little specks in it. And then I'm gonna add the rest of the ingredients. Now I'm gonna let this cook for just a little bit, like, I don't know, a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it off and just put the lid on it and let it kind of cook itself. You don't really need to keep cooking it, and this can set for literally a couple hours. Here's the noodles. They look really good. I let them sit for, I don't know, barely an hour, and I think I could have upped the butter just because I feel like the brown butter flavor is not, you know, very prominent, but still they're gonna be great. And they actually look really good being like the fine ones. So this is what they look like. I'm really excited. They turned out really well. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm. Double spinning.
We're having a very simple meal. We're literally gonna have noodles and some of the Jello that I'm showing you guys. Nick is gone overnight, so I'm all about easy. Okay, so the next thing I'm making is the cheesy potluck potatoes, and this is very common in our culture. They are made with like shredded hash browns, or you can cook and peel and shred potatoes yourself if you want to. I am just usually not that energetic, and there's plenty of recipes that call for just your regular like frozen hash browns. There are certain kinds that don't work as well because they want to kind of gum together, but these I believe are Aldi ones, and they usually do pretty well. So I have some of my ingredients sitting out here. I hope you can't hear the dryer in my background, but in any case, I don't know if you guys recognize this brand here at Walnut Creek Foods. I have talked about them before in one of my previous videos, and they're sponsoring the video again today. I'm very grateful for that. They are a distributor in Holmes County. They also have Walnut Creek cheese, which I'll link that website down below. You can order products off of there. But the Walnut Creek Foods brand itself distributes to tons of different states in the United States, and they're in a lot of different stores, bulk food stores especially, but they could be in, you know, your random little gas station that would sell some stuff, like deli products, you name it. They try to manufacture as much as they can in Holmes County, like make as many of their own products as they can, and, you know, use local people as much as possible. So I am very familiar with the brand. I've used them in the past a lot, especially like meats and cheeses and deli products and stuff. So if you see this brand, you know what I'm referring to. Next time you go to one of those stores, be on the lookout for their brand, and I would definitely highly recommend them. But I'm gonna keep cooking, and I'm gonna show you how to make these potluck potatoes. They're very easy. I'm actually gonna make them for tomorrow for Sunday lunch, but I'm just gonna put them in the fridge, so that's possible. I'm gonna be making them today on Saturday, and then I'll put them in the fridge and then have them baked tomorrow. So that's definitely something you can, you know, do with this. You can also bake them right away, it doesn't matter. But in any case, if you wanted to do it ahead of time, they're great for that. I'm gonna use my handy dandy little chopper from Pampered Chef. I have a lot of their products. I had a bridal shower in that before I got married, and so I was able to get a bunch of products. So this is just a handy little chopper to chop things up. So you're gonna be making a sauce for the potatoes. You're gonna be using like the cream of chicken, everything basically except for the potatoes, you're going to be putting in a saucepan and making it into a cheese-y sauce. I'll show you guys how to do that. You can see I'm not really measuring, but it's because I've made this type of thing so often, and it's really not something that you can easily mess up. So feel free to add or subtract, you know, to how you think you want it. But you definitely want, you know, a good amount of cheese in there. And then you're gonna pour this sauce over the hash browns. All right, so I'm gonna pour the hash browns into a bowl. Some recipes call to have the hash browns thawed a little bit, so you could do that if you wanted to. So I'm gonna spray my pan with cooking spray and then pour it in here, and then it will be put in the fridge until tomorrow. But you could also just put it in the oven right away and cook it until it's baked through, which probably at 350, and I don't know, check it after like 40-45 minutes maybe, something like that. The other thing that I don't usually do is add cornflakes on top. You can do melted butter and cornflakes, like crushed. I like it, but Nick doesn't really like it, so I've never really put them on, but that's also very normal to put that on top of it. I just think it adds a nice crunch to it, but since Nick doesn't really like it, I just don't put it on, but it's actually really good. So you could also do that, melt a little butter with some crushed cornflakes and then put that on top of the potatoes, so it's really good. So I have enough for 2 pans, and I'm gonna divide it and put one in the freezer for later. You kind of want it a little bit soupy also. Okay, so here are the potatoes. So we're excited to eat dinner. Got my little sweetie sitting here in the high chair. She's eating a graham cracker. Right. She's just putting it down. I don't know how much she's actually getting, but it's something that easily dissolves. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna make is a peanut butter pie. I know this video is all over, like I said, but I decided I was gonna try and make one. I have made peanut butter pie before, but I'm not sure about actually the pudding part of it. Sometimes I've used instant, but that's really not very good. And honestly, peanut butter pie is like one of my favorite things, and it's very well known and common among Amish and Mennonites. And I'm not saying no one else makes them, I know that. But she's all over the place too. I am gonna make some because I love it, and I'm gonna try my hand at making my own pie crust as well. I'm not much of a baker, but honestly, you guys have been kind of spurring me on to keep me like motivated in trying new things. Like, I'm not very much like of a dough person, but I'm getting a little bit more nerve to try things. So I'm just kind of taking you guys with me, and I've tried to make pies before and I've made them before. It's just not really my forte. But in any case, you could also buy like ready to go pie crust for this. This is the kind that you will pre-bake the crust, and then I'll show you how to make the peanut butter crumbs to put in it, and like the powdered sugar. There's like powdered sugar and peanut butter that go together to make the crumbs, and it's really, really good. Oh, I just love having so much of that. And then I will have the pudding, and then whipped topping, topped with crumbs. So I'm excited. I love peanut butter pie, so let's get into it. These are the ingredients for the pudding, and I would suggest making sure you have everything ready to go before you actually start cooking your things on the stove. I kind of learned that by trial and error there, but I made my second batch here, and this is everything put together. I think I had forgotten to add something the first time around, so you know, I mess up too. But anyway, mix your dry ingredients together and separate your egg yolks from the yolk, and then you have the eggs to go into, you know, the cooked part of the pudding as well. So just follow the steps in the recipe that I have outlined below, and you should be good to go. So this is why I said to have all of the other ingredients prepped and ready, because you want your milk to be scalding, which means basically boiling, but you know, just barely. So you want to get it really hot, and then you're going to add the liquid that you had pre-mixed already and add that to it, and then it will get thick as you stir it. So just make sure you're there. Don't leave the stove too long. Keep stirring it, and it should get all nice and thick without lumps, or at least not too many. Alright, so I am getting ready to make my pie crust. I made the pudding, you know, last night, and it's actually going to make like 3 crusts, so that gives me a little bit of wiggle room. I really only need 1. I could have it, but I'm going to go with the whole recipe, because that way if I mess something up, I, you know, have extra. So if I'm being honest, you guys, this was my second attempt of the day to make a pie crust. The first recipe I used, I don't know what was really wrong with it, but I didn't actually have to like roll it out, and so I put it in the pan just like they said, but it just didn't really turn out very well. So I decided I'll just make the more standard style, and this one turned out a lot better. Now granted, I know that some of the pie experts will probably say it's not quite right, but it's okay. We liked it. It was very good, and I would definitely recommend the recipe. So okay, so it's not perfect, but we're gonna give it a shot. You want to cut off the excess part of the dough after you've laid it in the pan, because you don't really want all of that. And this is the way I've watched my mom do it. She probably has a little different technique, but it's the way I've been doing it, and there's tons of different ways you can crimp a pie. But this is kind of the way I kind of like use my 4 fingers and then my thumb to just kind of pinch it. I'm gonna make sure to poke it so that there's no air bubbles in there. I'm gonna go ahead and divide this into 2 and then put it in the freezer. That way I can use it later. For the peanut butter crumbs, you're gonna use 3/4 cup of powdered sugar and 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. And then you're gonna mix it until it resembles kind of coarse crumbs. Whoever came up with this idea definitely was a genius, because this is really what makes the whole peanut butter pie. And this is what you want it to look like, just little crumbles like this. So just kind of, I don't know, crumble it together. Don't smush it really, because that'll just kind of make it clump. But the more powdered sugar you add, the more it'll start to kind of form little crumbles. So there you go. So here's the pie all baked, and then you're gonna go ahead and put the crumbles in the bottom. Some of them, don't use all of them in the bottom, but you put some in the bottom, and then you will add your pudding to the top of that. And the pudding should not be too runny. If it is, you're probably gonna have a little bit of a problem, you know, serving it and stuff, but this is just sort of like a gel-like, I guess, texture. And then you go ahead and add whipped topping to the top of the pudding, as much as you want or as little, and then you add some more sprinkles on top. Here she is. I think it turned out. I have yet to try it, and the crust is not perfect, but I think it'll work. You know, you kind of eat it anyway, don't you? I'm excited. Hopefully Nick will enjoy it tonight when he gets back, and Caden, he might enjoy it too. We don't know. Do you like pie?
Not really, but I like pumpkin pie.
Okay, that's fine if you don't like it, because that means there's more for us. So anyway. Yeah, I'll leave the recipe down below if you're wanting to try it. I'm still learning and kind of improving my pie making abilities, but if you're lacking courage, just try it. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I hope y'all enjoyed it very much. Make sure you go check out Addie's video. I will have it linked in the description box. Also, if you have requests of some things that you'd like me to make or try to, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love that. I don't make any promises, but I'm always open to more suggestions. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. May you be blessed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.